Good day, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of Mental Health Conversations by Mel. We are now here to discuss mental health and youth collaborations. So, before we start, uh, someone will give a message to the youth. She is the current executive director of Galimpook Foundation and the former spokesperson of Vice President Leni Robredo. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome. Let's watch the video message from Ms. Georgina Hernandez-Yang.
Hi everyone! Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. My name is Georgina Hernandez and I would like to thank Mel for inviting me to her episode of Conversations on Mental Health by Mel. I met her a few years ago when I was still working in government in the Office of the Vice President, exploring different partnerships and collaboration. And now I'm happy to reconnect with Mel to be a part of this initiative that I think is very much needed, especially in our situation today where we have limited face-to-face and physical interactions, and to say that we are feeling very challenged and distressed is really an understatement given all the economic, social, financial, and also health, especially mental health challenges that we've faced in the past year. I want to share with you some of my thoughts on the importance of being engaged and active in youth empowerment activities to promote mental health as our way also of strengthening and protecting our own well-being and mental health while we are helping others. So two things that I want to share. First is that I really firmly believe that there is healing in giving. Second is that we cannot give what we do not have. So kahit pag gusto nating tumulong, kung ubos na ubos at hindi kakayanin, wala tayo talagang maibibigay. First is on the importance of understanding what I put as healing in giving. Usually, we experience brokenness when we feel alone and lonely. But in opportunities to work with others, to help others, we actually feel very empowered because we realize that we are not alone. When we are giving, there is someone receiving. And automatically, we are able to make that connection. We are able to build that relationship with another person, with the person whom we are helping. In the process, we are also helped. But I think one very important point as well is that while we give, we realize that we are not enough. And then we realize the importance of collaboration, working with others, relying on other people, letting other people contribute what they can, as we realize that what we can give is just a piece of a very beautiful picture of a puzzle that will be built and put together if we work together. An example, very popular, very recent, is the community pantries. We realize that we all have something to give. Kahit pagano kaliit, meron tayong maibibigay. At para sa akin, napakaganda, napaka-powerful ng image ng community pantries because it really speaks volumes about who we are as a people. That even in our brokenness, even in our challenges, lagi at lagi, meron tayong pwedeng maibigay. At hindi tayo nahihiya na ibigay kung ano yung kaya natin dahil alam natin na pupunuan ng iba kung ano yung hindi natin maibibigay. And so I think that entire picture of each of us just giving what we can. We don't need to solve the problem by ourselves. In fact, we cannot solve a problem by ourselves. We can only solve a complex problem by working together and collaborating. So we feel very empowered. And it's almost an antidote against helplessness. Minsan kasi kung tingin natin masyadong malaki yung problema, we will just shy away, kakalimutan na lang natin, wag na, masyadong mahirap yung problema na yan, masyadong magulo yung sitwasyon dito sa bansa natin. So, hindi na lang ako makikibahagi. At sa tingin ko yung idea na maliit lang yung kailangan mo ibigay at hayaan natin yung ibang tao na pumasok din para ibigay kung ano yung kaya nila. Napakagandang picture. And this pandemic has really given us a lot of opportunities to do that, to just share what we can and let others fill in the gaps. But I think a word of caution and very important is that we must, as givers, we must always realize that we cannot give what we do not have. Especially those working in, kumbaga, what they say, the area of giving, madalas nakakalimutan na tumanggap. Givers, the biggest challenge for givers is to be receivers. And many of the active youth leaders and youth members usually are uncomfortable with receiving. And so siguro yung thought ko dito as, kumbaga, ay youth, pasok pa siguro ako sa youth, a youth leader is that to also learn to receive and also be able to protect my spaces, my personal spaces, my boundaries, set boundaries, whether physical or non-physical boundaries. Because it is only also in taking care of ourselves that we will be able to give more and do more. At sa dami ng mga kailangan gawin, hindi mauubusan ng dapat at pwedeng itulong sa iba. At so kung kakailanganin, pwedeng magpahinga. At pwedeng huminga. So tingin ko, napakahalaga para sa isang youth leader to really take care of one's mental health. And sometimes sabihin, unahin mo yung sarili mo, yung iba, unahin mo yung iba. Pero baka pwedeng tingnan din na habang inaalagaan natin yung sarili natin, alam natin na ginagawa natin yon para maalagaan yung iba. Habang tinutulungan natin yung iba, ginagawa natin yon para matulungan yung sarili natin. And in a sense, it's really this whole ecosystem of helping each other live a healthy and protect our mental health and well-being. So, sa tingin ko, we should value that, and whenever we need help, to always ask for help. Right now, in our organization, Galing Po Ako Foundation, we work with youth development organizations, helping out also in the grassroots through the Youth for Mental Health Coalition, and it's one of the avenues or organizations that we can really approach whenever we need someone to talk to, dahil hindi tayo dapat mahiya. Kung tayo yung nangangailangan, responsibility rin natin at na tayo minsan yung hihingi rin ng tulong. So we can be givers, we can be receivers. In both situations, we are able to make ourselves whole through collaboration and really appreciating the contributions of what each person can give. I hope I was able to impart something to you today, and I hope to continue to connect with the youth in the importance of taking care of our own mental health and well-being as well as others. Yun lang, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, Miss Georgina, for your message. And I am now here to present to you a certificate of appreciation for sharing an inspirational message for this episode. So, thank you. Let's now proceed to the Q&A proper. To introduce the guest for this episode is an HR professional. She is a certified mental health first responder. She is the founder and managing director of the community, your local mental health advocate, and my former interim vice chairperson for internal affairs in Youth for Mental Health Coalition. So let us all welcome Ms. Beatrice Ann Lee. Hello, good afternoon, Bea. How are you?
Hi, Mel. Good afternoon. Okay naman ako. Ikaw ba?
Yeah, actually I'm okay naman. So I'm glad that I was able to surpass another week of work. So, yun, here we are. And
Yes.
then, yeah, thank you for being my guest for this episode. And please feel free to introduce yourself. Go, ma'am.
Ayan. So, salamat ulit, no, sa pag-invite sa akin, Mel, to be a guest here sa vlog mo, no. It's really an honor to be in your vlog. Hi, everyone. I'm Bea. I am currently the founder and managing director for your local mental health advocate. And I'm also the former interim vice chairperson for internal affairs at Youth for Mental Health Coalition. I'm currently working as an HR professional at Mondelez International. And I'm also a certified mental health first responder.
Yan. So, thank you, Bea. So, yun nga, kasama ko din si Bea sa internal affairs ng Y4MH. So, yan. Siya yung former interim vice chairperson namin. So, yan. We're here to talk about mental health and youth collaboration. So, being the founder and managing director of your local mental health advocate, yun nga, may sarili kang endeavor. So, yun. I just want to ask, what is mental health for you, especially at this time of the pandemic?
Oo, so thank you for the question, Nomel. So for me, mental health is something na hindi lang siya, kasi usually when people talk about mental health or when people are asked about mental health, usually ang mga sinasabi ng mga tao, mental health, di ba yan yung depression, di ba yan yung anxiety, that's schizophrenia, that's bipolar disorder. Pero actually, mental health, when you talk about it, it's actually more than the disorders itself. Kasi yes, the disorders is a part of the mental health umbrella. Pero when we talk about mental health, it's the state and well-being of an individual in which you realize your own potential, you're able to make a contribution to your own community, you're able to manage yung mga different stressors of life mo. So there is really a big parang gap, or there is a really big parang aspects, maraming aspects under mental health, no. So it's not only about the disorders. So when we're talking about mental health, it's very important to address it, lalo na ngayong pandemic, because a lot of people have been struggling with managing yung mental health nila. Not necessarily naman na those who are having difficulties with their mental health, ay meaning nun may disorders na sila. Hindi yon. It can be na they're having difficulty coping lang with what's going on right now, and they're having difficulty in managing their emotions. So it's really important to be able to reach out to a professional if you're going through something. Lalo na ngayon, medyo mahirap kasi that people are not really able to go out. So, walang masyadong face-to-face interactions with other people. So, nalalesen yung social interactions. Ang tao pa naman, social beings, di ba?
Yes.
So, medyo mahirap doon if people are not able to have their own routines. So, we are really encouraged, to reach out to people, and then we can really seek help if we need to, na hindi nakakahiya mag-seek help. Hindi ka magiging weak, or hindi ka dapat dinedefine as a weak person kapag you're seeking help, kasi it's actually really brave, kasi you're acknowledging that you need help, diba? So doon ang gagaling yung seeking help behavior, yung help seeking behavior mo. So ano siya, hindi siya weak, opposite pa nga siya, brave pa nga siya, you're doing something to help yourself.
Yes, no. Thank you for that, no, Ma'am Shibea. Actually, yun nga, part din kasi ng naging effects ng pandemic is nawala yung routine ng mga tao na pang-araw-araw. And then it's very difficult nga yung time management. Kasi nawawala yung thin line ng work at saka yung rest. So, syempre, iba yung mental well-being ng mga tao kasi nasa ibang sitwasyon tayo. So, kailangan nating maging maintindihin at mabait. At the same time, dapat alam din natin sa sarili natin kung kailan tayo dapat mag-seek ng professional help. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na you sought professional help or you went through parang medications as prescribed. Ibig sabihin nun kabawasan na yun sa pagkatao or sa ganda ng performance mo, whether sa pag-aaral or sa trabaho.
Yes, definitely.
So, yun.
It's not a lack of character or strength.
And yun nga, sabi mo nga, that shouldn't define an individual. Diba?
That's the opposite kasi of being coward. So at least you
Definitely.
decide to take a step forward. And yun nga, following that,
Oo, yan.
how important is the role of the youth to propagate mental health awareness? Given that, yun nga, pareho tayong member ng Y4MH, and aside from that, you also have your own community. So, yun. Para sa'yo, ano yung kahalagaan nun para sa youth sector?
Oo. So, napaka-importante actually yung role na piniplay ng youth, especially when spreading awareness and education about mental health. Kasi, syempre, we're in this generation wherein we're more aware of the different concepts and aspects such as mental health. Kasi, di ba before, yung topics about mental health or yung issues about mental health, they're not really being talked about or they're not really being included in conversations. And people aren't really aware kung ano nga ba yung mental health, di ba? Usually, dinedescribe natin before, actually, yung mga generations before, nade-describe sometimes yung mga people who are undergoing mental health disorders such as mga parang kunyari, di ba, pag may anxiety, pag may depression, minsan natatawag sila as may diferensya sa utak, sira ulo, bobo, di ba? Pero we're in that stage wherein yung generation natin is already being more aware about mental health. It's already being included in conversation. So the role of the youth is very important kasi tayo yung generation na aware na eh. So it's more of like extending yung help, extending yung parang efforts natin in spreading awareness and education to other people who are not yet aware para at least they can already be aware of the different mental health concepts, etc. So they can always work together to lessen the stigma against mental health, especially ngayon sa Philippines na grabe pa rin yung stigma about mental health. Although, yes, of course, I'm very happy na there's been progress made na mas konti na ngayon that mental health is already being talked about, ganyan, etc. Pero we still have a long way to go to be able to address or remove the stigma of mental health in our country. So, it's important that regardless of generation, we work together to understand each other. We work together to parang normalize mga mental health conversations, normalize seeking help, etc.
Ayan. Oo, sinabi mo pa, tama talaga yan. Kasi, yun nga, meron pa ako ibang naririnig dati na kapag ka may mental health disorder daw is parang masapian or kinulam or yung mga ganon na term. Plus, yun nga, pag sinabi na may mental health illness yung tao na yun, parang inisip nila hindi na kayang magtrabaho, hindi na kayang mag-aral, ganon, or ini-equate nila sa poor performance. Aside pa siguro sa mental health disorder or illness, parang yung mga diferensya din sa neuro, parang ano ba, yung ba, yung mga na-stroke, gano'n, na kalahati ng katawan. Parang mga gano'n yung impression nung iba. So, napakahalaga talaga ng youth empowerment and role in mental health awareness. So, following that, yun nga,
Yes, definitely.
how important for you is multi-sectoral collaborations in mental health awareness campaign? How can the youth ignite multi-sectoral collaborations? Given our endeavors with Youth Mental Health Coalition and other organizations na nagpo-propagate din ng mental health awareness campaign.
Oo, 'di ba? As you mentioned nga, there are a lot of different organizations that are already collaborating together to achieve mental health education and awareness for different people. So, when we talk about multi-sectoral collaboration, hindi lang siya dapat since mostly ang mga youth ang aware with regards to mental health concepts. Syempre, we aren't able to do parang or spread mental health effectively sa iba't ibang tao or yung awareness ng mental health, we're not really able to spread it parang as effectively if we don't tap LGUs, if we don't tap other people who are also working in other sectors, especially here sa Philippines. So, sobrang importante talaga na the youth also collaborates with different levels or different sectors ng government to be able to spread out or to be able to execute yung mga projects, yung mga needed na parang proposals and projects ganyan sa mga different local barangays natin to be able to reach out to those other citizens na hindi covered ng youth.
Maganda din kasing platform yung collaborations ng iba't ibang sectors, especially if ako ang titingnan mo is yung propagation ng mental health awareness in a community level, 'di ba? Parang self, family, then
Oo, kasi at
community,
least,
'di ba?
mm,
So
yeah,
parang kasi in
yeah,
a
kasi at least
community, oo,
mas
pagka
maraming
ganon,
collaboration.
pagka ganon kasi parang mas maraming collaborations, parang merong sense of being empowered and sense of belongingness, especially in a very supportive group or community.
Yes.
Ayun. So, how do you think
Oo,
the
at saka
youth,
kasi Mel, with
uh,
regards to collaboration,
uh, ahead ma'am.
mas parang nakikita natin doon yung cooperation natin, different people. We get the different perspectives and ideas of different people that would make it, kasi syempre yung mga multi-sectoral or yung mga nandun sa government level, local government level, mas kilala nila mas alam nila yung needs ng tao nila, mas alam nila kung how they will do projects to be able to help them better. That's why mas maganda talaga if there is multi-sectoral collaboration. Mas effective siya. Mas maganda yung mga programs na maro-roll out.
Oo, tama ka dyan. Kasi kung meron ng mas nakakilala sa profile or sa demographics ng mga tao sa isang lugar, that's the local government unit, especially the barangay. So, yun. Another question for you is that,
Yes.
how the youth could address their mental health
Yes.
concerns? How the youth could address their mental health concerns by being more involved in youth empowerment initiatives?
With regards to how can the youth be more involved, actually for me kasi it's in my opinion, it starts with education and awareness kasi hindi ka naman pwede since hindi ka nga pwede mag-advocate for something that you yourself is not aware of. So kailangan it starts really with education and awareness sa ating mga youth or sa ating even in the other generations. Kailangan muna nila maging aware. They have to know the basic concepts. They have to know what mental health really is before they are able to share it to the different communities. Kasi mamaya, if people are not really aware of what's the real meaning or kung ano ba talaga ang mental health, baka mamaya misinformation pa ang mas spread, false information. So it may be more harmful than good. So dapat they themselves should be aware first before they advocate for it and before they spread it to the different people sa ibang community, no? So with regards to that, it's very important that after getting aware, after being educated of the different concepts of, mental health awareness, mental health education, dapat after noon, when they share it, they make sure na other people can also share it to the different people sa community. Hindi lang dun sa stop. Kasi when it stops at the level of parang kunwari education or awareness at parang hindi na mag-grow from there. Mahirap din i-propagate yung mental health awareness. So, it's also being about very proactive in trying to help other people and trying to understand people. Pero the youth has to make sure, or those people who are helping has to make sure that they have the capacity to be able to help other people. Kasi yung mga iba, if they're not certified or wala silang enough parang credentials or credibility to be able to provide help, parang psychosocial support to other people, it can do more harm than good. So, kailangan din meron ding self-awareness and self-assessment din if you're able to provide help before helping. And of course, you have to assess your own capacity na rin if to check na hindi pa ba ako masyadong emotionally burdened ngayon to be able to help other people. Kasi mamaya, again, it might do more harm than good. So, yun, it doesn't stop at yung level ng awareness and education. There has to be also efforts on helping, and other than that, there has to also be efforts on creating programs to improve mental health services. Kasi a lot of people have been struggling with their mental health silently, yung hindi sila hingi ng help kasi it's either the reason is maano sila, yun nga, ma-exclude sila sa society kasi they're reaching out for help with regards to their mental health concern. Or the other thing is naman is, syempre, hindi naman lahat may enough financial resources to be able to get the help that they need. So there has to be also that level wherein the government is providing accessible and affordable mental health services din para at least those who are hesitating to seek help, magkaroon din sila ng platform or magkaroon din sila ng venue to be able to get the help that they need. Saka doon, mas mai-improve yung mental health efforts ng country.
Thank you for that. So, tama yun, hindi biro ang oras at gastos when it comes to seeking mental health services, therapies, medications, yung appointment sa doctors or psychiatrists, hindi siya madali, hindi siya basta-basta, at hindi siya magaan sa bulsa. So, napaka-importante talaga na meron tayong mga available na services offered by public hospitals na libre. Although, yun nga, mahirap naman, syempre, kumbaga marami din nag-a-avail ng ganong services, no? Pero napaka-importante inclusive, affordable, and accessible for all. Diba? Kasi hindi lahat may financial capacity. So, isa din yun sa mga dahilan kung bakit maraming takot mag-reach out for help. Kasi hindi biro yung gastos and yung time. Tapos, syempre, they are afraid of the stigma. But then again, coming from a survivor myself, so I knew naman how hard it was. But then officially graduate.
Oo, definitely.
So ayun, so parang ayun, at least kahit paano na yun nga, strong support group system and their community really help. So with that, kindly share and discuss about your local mental health advocate. So paano siya nag-start? How did you come up with the idea? Tapos paano siya nag-propagate into a big community?
So, thank you for that question, no? Actually, your local mental health advocate is a Facebook page that I started last May 2019 when people were already reaching out to me for help, for mental health help. Alam kasi nila na graduate ako ng psychology, pero parang nung time na yun, I felt like I wasn't really in the position to parang give advices kasi dapat hindi naman talaga yun yung practice, no? Pag parang yung advices, you just give it as a friend. Hindi ka pwede magbigay ng professional advice as long as hindi ka mental health professional, di ba? So, parang at the time, I told them I wasn't really equipped to give professional advice. It's just, pag may advice man magagaling sa akin, there's always a disclaimer na friendly advice lang to. No? So that they should always seek professional help pa rin. So parang people were asking me parang for motivational quotes, parang etc. Paano nila ma-improve yung mental health nila, ganyan. So parang I decided to create a Facebook page wherein I would be able to parang share my thoughts, give tips on how people can improve their mental health. Although ako aaminin ko, I'm not really in the best of my mental health din. Pero I really wanted to be able to help other people din who are struggling with their mental health. Or syempre may mga araw tayo na talagang it's not a good day for us. So parang I really wanted to give encouragement din to people to help them, no? With their struggles, no? Not necessarily as a professional, pero as an advocate myself, no? So, yun, dinecide kong gawin yung your local mental health advocate na page. It started out very small. Parang nagpo-post ako doon every day because I really wanted to be able to help out other people. So, tuwan-tuwa ako pag may mga taong, for me kasi parang it's not about the likes or wanted those who na parang madaanan nila sa timeline nila yun. I want them to feel encouraged. I want them to know that they're not alone. I want to let them know na there's hope despite what they're feeling, despite the struggles that they're going through. So nag-start ako mag-post isa-isa lang per day, ganyan, mga poster. Naalala ko sa Canva. Sa Canva ako nag-start mag-edit. Oo. Tapos yun, parang unti-unti nang na-build yung page. Eventually, parang since everyday na ako nagpo-post, before it was 3 times a day actually, tas everyday. Kasi ewan ko ba kung bakit ang dami kong time before, pero parang ever since nung parang medyo nagkaroon din ako ng parang ano man tawag mo doon, na burnout din ako last year nung mga after siguro 4 months of doing that na 3 posts every day. Kasi mahirap din mag-isip ng content na parang hindi mo na alam kung some days ano yung post mo, ano yung mga i-share mo. So parang I took a break. I think mga I can't remember if it was around November ganyan, but I took a break. It was a good month-long break din siya. And then after, parang hindi ko na, nag-decide ako na ayoko nang i-pressure yung sarili ko of posting every day. Basta kung kailan lang na ma-feel ko na mag-post. And then, kailan na makaisip ako ng content or I get inspiration, doon ako, saka ako nag-edit, saka ako nagpo-post. So, I would like to apologize, pero naging mas konti na yung mga post ko ngayon compared sa before. So, yun, that's yung journey ng your local mental health advocate. Lumaki siya ng lumaki and then eventually, nagko-contact na dun yung mga tao to ask for if we do mga speaking engagements, ganyan. But before I used to speak kasi for Youth for Mental Health Coalition. So parang I decided na I wanted to find my own path din as a mental health advocate. So, yun. That's where kung saan nagbunga yung your local mental health advocate.
Ayan, so yan. Thank you and it's so inspiring. Honestly, syempre yung mga panahon na may mga struggles and hindi na ako gano'n masyado comfortable kasi yun nga, nag-adjust ako kasi from a gala na tao and sociable and socialized na tao, bigla akong na-quarantine, bawal lumabas, bawal mag-travel, no video, okay. I mean, as in, puro chat lang at saka yung mga ganitong calls. Kahit sa work,
video call,
video calls lang. So, medyo mahirap yung naging transition, to be honest. So, minsan kasi when I browse my, yung Facebook and Instagram feeds, para kasing kahit na, sabihin mo parang na-scroll up ko lang or na-scroll down ko lang, para kasing minsan nakaka-strike din yung mga quotes na baba, galing sa your local mental health advocate. Parang kahit na, sabihin mo parang coincidence lang na nakita ko yun. Parang, feeling ko, the message is for me. Parang gano'n, nakaka-relate ako. Kasi parang it resonates, gano'n. So, yun. Tsaka syempre yun, I admire din na kung paano ginagawa yung mga layouts, tapos yung mga design, dun sa mga post mo. So, parang,
talaga yan, friends. Si Lord talaga nag-equip sa akin na
yung mga ideas.
Ma-share yung advocacy ko. Oo, kasi kung wala si Lord, wala din to, promise.
Oo, tama yun, actually. Actually, yun din. Kahit na medyo mabagal yung uploading ko dito, at least after 1 year of thinking and planning, I finally had the courage to start this endeavor. And yun nga, just continue with it. And yun nga, yung nabanggit mo na you took a break. I think it's okay naman it's normal to take a break, especially if we feel overwhelmed and we experience burnt out. Kasi ako,
parang feel ko nung time na yun, kailangan ko na talaga, friend.
Parang kailangan mo ng break, di ba? Parang recess muna tayo, gano'n. Kasi yun nga.
Feel ko nung time na yun, kailangan ko na talaga mag-break.
Kasi, kumbaga parang mahirap din naman na parang yung hinahatak lang natin yung katawan natin minsan. So, syempre kailangan din naman natin mag-recharge. Bakit napaka-importante nun? Kasi, even yung mga makina nga pumapalya, di ba? Even yung computer naghahang, tayo pa kayang tao na may ilang organs sa katawan, di ba?
Totoo yan. Kaya nga sobrang proud ako sa iyo, Mel, for starting your vlog. After a year, it may have been, I know it felt scary, pero I'm really happy for you na you decided to push through with your vlog.
Yeah, thank you for that. And to be honest, aside from being a member of Youth for Mental Health Coalition, hindi to bola, pero actually, you became one of my inspiration parang to
Grabe, friend.
Hindi, actually, friend, actually to start kasi parang syempre I have the anxiety na naman na parang kung hindi pumatok ganun. But then again, it's all about the advocacy naman. Although pinangarap kong maging showbiz personality, parang
bagay sa iyo yun.
Nung teenager ako, pinangarap ko yun. But then I realized na siguro parang pwede din naman yun in a different platform with a good cause, in good faith.
Yeah.
Parang, syempre, parang, ako, parang, coming from the experience of a service user. So, syempre, para sa akin, kung sino man ng mas may kakayaang mag-explain ng experience and struggles of being a service user. Syempre, it's the service users themselves, di ba? Kaya nga, importante na nasa frontline sila
Yes.
ng battle na ito for mental health awareness and advocacy. So, that's
Oo,
important.
definitely. I agree.
Mm. So yun, just keep going. Actually, kaya nga dun sa vlog ko, meron siyang semicolon. Kasi just a reminder to keep going, diba? And syempre, it's okay naman to take a break, pause for a while. And then yun, mag-pray tayo. So, napaka-importante nun to balance everything, lalo na para sa pang-araw-araw. Kasi ba,
Oo, prayers talaga.
ang daming ganap sa mundo, friend, di ba?
True.
Di ba?
Yes.
Ang daming ganap sa mundo. So minsan parang mahirap din i-balance kasi yun na. Diba, we have different responsibilities and then commitments na pang-araw-araw. So ayun, Bea. Uh, any parting words or quotes that you may want to share as
So, thank you first of
adult?
all.
Mm-hmm.
Oo. So, actually, first of all, thank you talaga, Mel, for inviting me. It's really an honor to be able to be in your vlog. I'm really happy to be able to share mental health with as many people as possible, no? So, ako, siguro, my advice, or hindi naman advice, pero my tip would be, is to always make your mental health a priority. Na I know na a lot of people have been focusing on physical health kasi syempre, 'di ba, yun yung karamdaman natin ngayon, yun yung nakikita outwardly kung ano yung nararamdaman natin. So, people tend to focus on their physical health, pero we usually forget na sobrang importante din yung mental health kasi it affects how we think, how we behave, how we interact with other people. So, sobrang importante that we also take care of our mental health and make it a priority, no? So, take as many rest times or break times as you need to. Alam kong marami tayong responsibilities. Alam kong marami online classes, may mga nag-work from home, pero please take the time to rest pa rin. Kung kunyari, may matatabi pa kayong time, may mas-spare pa kayong time, please use it to rest because your body needs rest din for it to be able to function din. At saka pang protecta din yun ng immune system. You need rest, you need sleep. So, wag nating ipasantabi yung pahinga. And please do not feel guilty for taking care of yourself kasi sobrang importante that we take care of ourselves before taking care of other people. Especially ngayon that ang daming nangyayari. Like sinabi nga ni Mel kanina, ang daming ganap sa buong mundo. So, it's very important that you take care of yourself. Even though yun nga maraming ganap, and that you pay attention to what your body is telling you. So pag sinabi niya ng pagod na siya, please magpahinga kayo. Hindi naman tayo kailangan na 24/7 laging productive. Minsan productive din talaga ang magpahinga kasi you will be forced to make time pagka nagkasakit kayo instead of sana nagpahinga na lang kayo, 'di ba? Sana you took the time to take care of yourself, 'di ba? So, yun, I hope that everyone takes care of themselves, especially during this pandemic. And please do not go out if you don't need to. Pag hindi naman essential, please do not go out kasi it's a way of protecting yourself and a way of protecting other people na rin as well. Para hindi na mag-spread yung COVID. And nandun na tayo sa track of getting back to yung old normal na kasi 'di ba sinasabi na new normal na ngayon. Sana I have still yung hopes and dreams na sana bumalik tayo to the old normal. So yun, I hope that you take care of yourself. I hope that you take as much time as you need to slow down, to rest din yun. So please take care of yourself. Yun lang. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bea. Yun nga, I just want to emphasize no, self-care is very important and it is not selfishness. And of course, if you're feeling drained and you need to rest, whether physically or mentally, it's not a mortal sin. So, kasi para sa akin, being productive is not being measured by how many tasks or activities that you've done at the end of the day.
Yes.
Diba?
Oo, agree.
Diba? So, yun. So, fight lang tayo and yun nga, natili sa bahay kung hindi kailangan lumabas. So, of course, it's a way of protecting people around you, yourself, and of course, helping our frontliners na rin. So, thank you very much for your time, Bea.
Yes.
Even though we've experienced technical
Thank
difficulties
you,
along
Mel.
the way, it's been a pleasure and it has been a great time. And then, yun nga, hoping for more posts from your local mental health advocate kasi it really
Thank you.
inspired
To
people.
God be the glory.
Yeah. And this one, of course, to God be the glory, diba? So, actually, yun nga naman kasi dapat talaga para sa akin, dapat sa lahat ng ginagawa ko bilang tao, dapat nag-glorify si Lord. So, kung parang feeling ko I'm not giving my best shot, parang feeling ko, hindi, baka yun yung tamang way para i-serve ko si Lord. Parang yun, naghanap ako ng platform kung saan ko mas mabubukas yung skills and talents na nabigay sa akin to bring back the glory.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So, yeah, thank you so much, Bea. Thank you very much for your time. And yun nga, let's keep in touch. And then yun nga, ingat and take care of yourself too. And then yun nga, sabi nga, magpahinga. Diba? So, yeah. Bye-bye. Thank
Salamat,
you.
Mel. Thank you.
Thank you, Bea. Thank you for your guesting, and I really appreciate that. So, with that, I'm here to present to you a certificate. This is to present a certificate of appreciation to Bea for sharing her insights and experiences as part of episode 2 of this vlog. So, thank you, Bea.